This is your spoiler alert. Please be advised, major spoilers ahead. Again, this is your spoiler alert.
Wakanda forever!
Alright guys, welcome to your Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday. What If Wednesday? Yes. Welcome to your What If Wednesday. I am Mike with Mike W Productions, and we are talking about, of course, What If. This is the second in, I'm not sure how many episodes we're supposed to be getting, but this is pretty interesting because we have the T'Challa episode, Black Panther, who's not Black Panther in this episode, and this is sadly Chadwick Boseman's, I believe, official last project, at least that we know of. They had some movies that were completed after he died. He did this right before he died, and yes, he is the one playing the voice of T'Challa in this one. So this is pretty much officially his last screening of pretty much anything, I believe. Let's talk about the episode. So, in this episode of What If, we know that it is what if T'Challa was Star-Lord. Star-Lord is a just kind of a thought process, it's more of a title than it is a person. We know, okay, well, Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. Well, Chris Pratt isn't Star-Lord. The character that he played is named Star-Lord, but it's just a title, basically. It's something that you either give yourself or are given. It's just like a nickname. So in this one, what if T'Challa is Star-Lord? We start off on the planet that we started off with in Guardians of the Galaxy episode Volume 1. And we jump from there to the scene where him and the other dude, who's like, who? Start taking one of the stones and pulls the stone with the magnet thing, just like Chris Pratt's Star-Lord did in the original version. But instead of the guy saying who, he actually knows who the Star-Lord is. He knows pretty much a lot about T'Challa and who he is and what he does. He's kind of a famous person instead of Star-Lord being, not famous. So that's kind of interesting. He pops out and beats up all of these guys that were with him, but instead of and he gets into a little fun fight with him at the beginning, but instead of taking him out and just leaving him there like Star-Lord did, he actually brings him with them while he's passed out, and Yondu is there, whereas in the original Yondu wasn't there. So there's a little bit of a fix there where Yondu and T'Challa this time are actually a little bit closer in proximity to the rules of the Ravagers. You don't leave Ravagers behind. You don't kidnap kids, but they did kidnap kids, so there's probably that same issue, except for now T'Challa kind of follows the Ravager rules a little bit better than going off for himself. So Yondu is there. He has, of course, his flying arrow, and he kills a bunch of these people that are just in the way, and T'Challa takes the dude with them, and he becomes part of the team, which is okay. Eventually we end up at this bar where we're having a conversation, and Nebula pops up. I don't know where Gamora is.
I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
I don't believe they told us where Gamora is, because Gamora was taken by Thanos at a very young age. Of course, Nebula kind of has more of loyalty to Thanos than the other one typically did. So maybe she's just off running around by herself or on a different mission. T'Challa apparently changed Thanos' mind, and instead of Nebula becoming mostly robot, she only has one eyepiece. So, and apparently she owes the Collector a debt. I'm not sure how that worked out, but that's fine. They were talking about this flower thing, this like celestial flower. A little MacGuffin there for you. They have to go and get this from the Collector. T'Challa agrees to help them out. Thanos is actually a part of the team, which is kind of weird. Howard the Duck is in this one, which is, again, kind of weird. But he's played by Seth Green in this one. Well, voiced by Seth Green in this one, which is kind of interesting. Josh Brolin is playing Thanos. Karen Gillan comes back as Nebula. We do see a bunch of characters. There are a few characters that are not voiced by the same people, but of course, T'Challa is played by Chadwick Boseman, and that is why this is pretty much officially his last appearance in any kind of film. So with that, they need to go and get this thing from Benicio del Toro's Collector, which he came back to voice that voice again. So I'm like, hey, cool. So we have all these things the Collector has, and they are there to give him the stone that T'Challa just got. Okay, so but the other mission is to get this thing that Nebula wanted. Again, I don't know where Gamora is. I don't know why she's not in this episode. Nebula has hair now, because apparently this version of Star-Lord, T'Challa had a conversation with them and stopped Thanos from messing with the kids too much. So instead of her being mostly robot, she's mostly human. She has blonde hair, which is kind of confusing because, well, Karen Gillan has red hair, but hey, I would think that she would have blue hair. Whatever. We never really saw a flashback of her, so we'll go with blonde. Why not? Howard the Duck is in this one, played by Seth Green. Kind of funny, but he's more of just another MacGuffin, a tool to get you from point A to point B. So Chadwick Boseman's character lets him out. They get to this place that they're supposed to be, and then a fight breaks out between Chadwick Boseman and the Collector. And apparently in this world, the Collector has gotten a lot more stuff. So he opens up this like floor vault that has all of his weapons in it, and we see that the Captain America shield is there, Thor's hammer is there, so I wonder what happened to Thor, because none of the stuff had happened before to kill him off. We get Thor's sister's helmet thing from Hela, the goddess of death, and the Collector starts using at some point. I'm sure that there's other things in there, I just didn't notice them, but the two biggest ones is Captain America's shield and Mjolnir
Mjolnir? What's Mjolnir?
are in the vault. If there's other things that I didn't get to see or just didn't notice or didn't know about, let me know in the comments, because I'm sure that there's tons of stuff that I didn't really realize. He does do this weird thing where he puts it on and does the whole like thing that she does in the movie,
Fine.
which is kind of weird because that's more her thing than him, but moving on. So there's a fight, he gets knocked out, put into this little box. The girl that would have blown up in the first movie by touching the stone didn't die because she never touched the stone, and she gets his little remote glove thing. So he's locked up in a box. She lets all of the collections out, opens his box while they're surrounding him, and basically karma ensues. I guess the morals, there's a few little morals of the story. At the very end, T'Challa goes back to Wakanda, and his dad is alive, and his mom is alive, and everyone that was supposed to be there is alive. Very end is Star-Lord. He is working at Dairy Queen. At this time point, he would be late 20s, early 30s, just like in the beginning of the first movie. So he's working at DQ. I'm hoping he's a franchisee, not just an employee, but I don't know. We get a little ring from the door, and he says, "Hey, we're closed," and it is Ego. Ego is looking for his son because he needs to do whatever he did in Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 2, but that pretty much means that the Earth and a bunch of planets are going to get destroyed because Star-Lord wasn't there to stop Daddy. Either that, or it's going to go slightly different in this universe, but he's still going to have to destroy his own father. We don't know. They don't really touch on that, but he did say that, you know, the Watcher did say that that situation may have ended differently, where Ego does destroy a bunch of planets because of the stuff that he did in that movie that was stopped. So, with that being said, this episode is a very interesting episode. It is sadly Chadwick Boseman's last appearance in film. I do call this a film because it is movie related. So with that, there is a little thing on the end credits about Chadwick Boseman, and he does have a little thing in that one. Hopefully they'll do some kind of behind the scenes thing at some point where we do get to see him in the behind the scenes voicing these characters and all of the people who voiced all of these characters. But all in all, this is a good episode. Different concept from the last episode. Last episode was pretty much a shot for shot, except for that like very last end scene. This one was kind of a totally different story mixed in with the same landscapes, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I'm wondering if what if the next one is Doctor Strange? That's my prediction. I'm not sure. I don't know how they're releasing these, and there's no like next time on. At the end of it, it's just I am the Watchman and I am watching type stuff. So, and the voice of the Watchman, I do know him. He is Felix Leiter from Casino Royale, or for some of you, he is the smart guy from Catching Fire, Hunger Games. So, that is the second version of the Hunger Games, and I think he's in there a little bit in the third, and that is who plays the voice of the Watcher, and he does a good job. I like this guy. I hope instead of Stan Lee cameos like we used to have, we have Deadpool cameos, but if we can't, at least put that little silhouette of the Watcher in the stars in every episode. Give us a little something, to look at and try to find, because that was always a little booster for the movies. But with that being said, guys, hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, give it a thumbs down if you don't. Drop a comment in the comments section for the algorithm. And thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for sitting through this entire episode. If you did get to this part, hit the end in the comment section so I know you watched it all the way through. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.